Hey everybody, welcome back to Studio F. But this cue card, what do you expect? This is video 11 of 12, the review / wrap up for the recording of my song Gimme. And what a 12-week experience it's been. My plan was to disassemble my song Gimme that I recorded on my home studio setup with MIDI and stuff and guitars and stuff using laptop running ProTools and put the song all back together in a how-to kind of approach over a course of 12 weeks. Now, here, you can listen to my song Gimme right now, check it out before we start. This whole wrap up, if you haven't heard it, will be more exciting for you, more informative, more enjoyable, more entertaining. Over 12 weeks, I'd post one video of the song every Friday at 4. One video of the aspect of the song, starting with the creation of the song, the initial inspiration, how the theme of the song came to me, how I worked all that into an arrangement, how I worked the theme into the lyrics, how I worked the riff into the arrangement, how I put it all together into a scratch, and on, the guitar tracks and everything, all the way down to the final mix. My intent was to pull back the curtain on the entire songwriting process from start to finish. From songwriting to recording, and bam. The whole thing, whole enchilada, the whole ball of wax. I wanted to create something I didn't see online. I mean, there's a lot of how-to recording videos, there's a lot of how-to songwriting videos and techie videos on equipment and gear and on and on and on. But there was I couldn't find a comprehensive start to finish creation of the song, writing, recording, and the whole thing. So that's what I decided I would fill in that gap. All developed from the production of a specific song. And then I thought, to make it more accessible, you can listen to the final mix of the song first before deciding to invest time into watching the videos. And I thought that would be cool. So that was my plan. And I named it Studio F, pretty much because Studio A through E were taken. And to help steer it along, I developed the Studio F mission to show how one man writes and records his songs on a computer. What one can do, another can do. An entertaining and informative way to see how a person writes and records his songs on a computer. So before I jumped in, I took a look on YouTube to see what was out there and what was catching people's eyes, and it turns out a guy jumping around in a banana suit for 30 minutes is one of the top viewed videos. Okay. Then on the other end of the spectrum, I find plenty of musicians and technicians and all sorts of creative people demonstrating their craft, and a lot of it was just slow, drawn out, and BORING. Sorry about that, I just had to do that. Content that was just so way deep into the minutia that I was just like, can't see how any kind of overview can be pulled out of it so you can get something that you can find something you can use. I wanted to yell, edit, edit, edit! So I thought somewhere in between Banana Suit Guy and Mr. Boring talking at length in a kind of Mr. Rogers-y tone about all this great stuff, and I thought there's got to be a happy medium there. So that was my blueprint for the Studio F Gimme 12 video series. And to kind of lean things more towards the Banana Suit Guy audience appeal, I kind of took a cue from legendary director Alfred Hitchcock. He had a TV show in the 60s where he would open up every episode with some irreverent self-mockery, so I took my cue from that. So pretty much every video in my series here has some kind of comedy built into it. I started with addressing a disturbing news article. We eat like the credit card's worth of plastic every week. I figured out a way to make that plastic come out of your body just with the correct notes. The thing just come falling out of your hair. Yeah. Of course, I tacked on an F-swag product to go along with this little bit. You get one of these snappy F hats on my website. Take you to my site, you can buy this cool chapeau and other cool F stuff. So that was my plan. Now what I didn't plan for was the fact that this video turned out to be like a time capsule. When I started putting it all together, we were living in World A. People were walking around and walking about the planet. Then about halfway through, World B, masks, gloves, quarantine, wow. So as the 12-week series wore on, this situation kind of bled into the comedy tracks, and I thought, well, I could either laugh or cry, and there you go. And then top all that off with the fact that the theme of the song Gimme, on which this whole series is based, is greed, which when you look at it really is at the heart of this whole problem. So I locked myself into a timeline of one video per week. Music, gags, viral awareness. And I went to work. Ha! But little did I know that my old nemesis, entropy, was hard at work. Entropy, you know, that little law of nature that says things naturally go from a state of order to a state of chaos. So entropy kicks in on Monday of week 9, and I find myself in the ER with a kidney stone. But I soldier on and I stay on schedule. The plot thickens. Now, if that weren't enough, there was yet another layer of crazy playing out in the background, which I didn't become truly aware of until things started going awry in a bigger way. I guess it all spawned from the video 5 gag, where I was saying that the videos were getting so popular, I was getting recognized on the street. I'm actually getting recognized on the streets. Nobody knows who the fuck you are. So I'm finding I have to do something to protect my privacy, some kind of disguise, something like that. So I came up with a few ideas. This one, effective, but a little scary, I get it. So the CIA being what it is and privacy being what it isn't, that kind of information gets, shall we say, well, I don't know, listened to, spied on maybe. It appears words like disguise and recognized on the street are watchwords, or they just get flagged, and that must have put me on the CIA watch list, and what happens next is pretty nutty. Now I gotta say, in retrospect, there were a lot of odd things leading up to the confrontation video 6 that I should have been aware of, but first there was this Ed Snowden lookalike character that I could have sworn mumbled my name or said my name as I passed him in the street. I didn't turn around at the time, but something felt weird when that happened, you know? And then I started to notice this military-looking guy hanging around my place and walking around, and I'd go out for a walk and I'd see him out for a walk, and I'd think, something's odd here. I'd looking over my shoulder and I see this guy again and again, and then he's hanging around my place one day, walking by, then another day, and I thought, this guy should not be lurking around my place. I don't think, you know? Then in video 4, my mock terrorist/hostage situation was something that, once I was on their radar, they could not ignore. They knew it was a joke, but because the guy was urged to watch the videos, they now had to watch the videos. You're gonna want to watch them all.
You must watch the videos.
No, I cannot watch the videos. What? I cannot watch the videos.
What? Well, then we will have to explode you.
Don't explode me. I can't watch the videos if you explode me. So the CIA guys are having to watch these videos, and that is angering them even more. And then when they get to the Gimme video, and they hear all the subversive lyrics and the crazy, the POTUS, and this is what really piques their interest, and it begins to go off the rails in a big way with the CIA call in video number 6. I thought I turned the ringer off on that.
Hello, Mr. Woosney.
It's Woosney speaking.
This is major concern from the CIA. We screened your video about being held hostage.
Oh yeah, my video number 3. You do realize that was a joke, right?
Of course we realize that. Do you think we're stupid? It appears you have a song there with some rather, shall we say, subversive lyrics. Talk of POTUS and double-crossing, and you mocked our leader.
Just poke fun, have a little fun,
Mr. Nosney, we urge you to comply.
It's Woosney. Yeah, comply. Comply with what? And that's when I started getting nervous about my Mars song, which I just uploaded to YouTube because I'd swiped a bunch of pics from NASA, and I figured these guys are going to see that, and it's going to start a whole nother episode of crazy coming my way. Meanwhile, interspersed in these videos were references to the whole viral thing in a comedy format. It's the Smoot social safety shroud. That's right, the Smoot people say it cuts down on that virus spreading spray by as much as 87%. It doesn't look too odd when you have it on. And it's doing the job, Comfortable. Following that, I addressed the need of artists still needing to perform, and I came up with a solution to allow them to do that. A solution for both performer and audience. Gotta get safe under this plastic or else everybody's gonna suffer. Safe performing in today's socially germ-conscious awareness society paradigm. This is the way to go. The Dale Wozni safety first, live performance, practicality, process, endeavor, situational device control solution. Yeah. While I have everybody here, I wanted to tell you about a new item, a new piece of swag I have on my website. It's a new t-shirt. Well, check it out if you like, And here's a QR code so you can just drill right down and pick up this cool item now. But back to the real purpose of the whole video series, and that is music. To show how one person writes and records his songs on a computer. What one can do, another can do. I make a very strong point in the course of the videos that there is no right or wrong way to do things. It's all creative decisions. I try to focus on learning how to tap into the emotions, tap into your emotions, and bring them through to the music. The series is all about the creativity angle. I throw out ideas and concepts all based on or pulled from or demonstrated through my song Gimme, so you can see how it all works. It's not just air and words and fluff, it all relates to the song, and that's why it's, I think, more valuable. So here it is. Video number 1 starts off with the initial song inspiration. So writing a song or coming up with an idea you want to turn into a song can start out in a variety of different ways. It could start with a title, you could start with a great set of chords and kind of work a melody over that, or the melody could come first, the chords later, or you could start out with a riff. In the case of this song, Gimme, it starts out with a riff. So I'm just sitting around and noodling on the guitar. I stumble upon something I like. Now, I've written a lot of songs and I've kind of trained myself to be aware, to capitalize on those moments. So here's the whole thing. So then when I say I gotta come up with a melody, but I can't sit the melody right on top playing the same thing, so I gotta fit the melody in between the riff. Give me love. Nah, that was love. I was devil. Give me more. But I need a B part. Then on video 2, we see how I use the software to put all those parts together into an arrangement. You're dealing with the arrangement of the various parts and turning them into a blueprint, if you will, in ProTools software. So the first thing I do is create a 2-bar drum beat and just loop that through in the software and bring it out, lengthen it out, give it more room for guitar parts. And then also, actually, you gotta take advantage of that because every time you hear it, your objectivity kind of fades. So I have a blueprint here. Will those things work? Can I still put them all together? Video 3 goes into the scratch track, the importance of it, and how I go about putting it together. Okay, you could say that the scratch track is the anchor to the song. Think of the scratch track as the phantom conductor. Scratch track has to be solid, has to be simple, it has to be steady, and it has to be pretty much, what's the word? Bare minimum. Video 4, refining the groove, goes into how I build my drum tracks. Rhythm is primal. Beat on log with bone. Funkiness is next to godliness, yes. And you find the sweet spots, the funky spots, what I like to call the DNA of the drum beat. Add humanness to the music and take out the sterility that is inherent in making music yourself in a home recording situation. Sterility, bad. Humanness, good. Video 5 picks up the pace with the guitar tracks. Have several different guitars, each with a unique signature, kind of make up the riff in kind of a puzzle piece kind of a thing. And it's sort of like a Franken riff. It took 5 guitars to make up that whole riff and put it together the way I wanted it to sound. I call it the pizza theory. Conventional wisdom says the rule of thumb I use is like kind of overdo it by about 20%. That's how much you're gonna lose in the mix. More real, actual excitement, audio excitement. On video 6, I go into these standout tracks, those being the guitar solos and how I developed and executed those. Balance out with enough space left for spontaneity and for things to happen, and to add that humanness, that human musicality, that way that a person would play a track. Humanness, that's the thing you're going for. In the end, it's like a balancing act. Plan and plan and plan, but when the moment comes, you gotta fly by the seat of your pants, jump off. I've laid down a patchwork of in-your-face guitar tracks, and now it's up to me to kind of match that with some cool solo work. And here's what I come up with. Here's that second part all by itself. And now, here are both parts together. Video 7 deals with the lyrics, which I hadn't completed until I'd gotten this far into the recording of the song. So I gotta write a song. I need to write a song. I want to write a song. I must write a song. I can't help but write a song. That's kind of sort of where I'm at. Lyrics to me are like a puzzle. If you have enough pieces, you can always put something together that works. And there is no wrong way to write a song. Now, sometimes I start with a line, sometimes I start with a title, sometimes it's a jam song that evolves into a lyric, a sing-song, so it comes in a lot of different ways. I just started a new songbook. Because I filled up this one before it. Because I ran out of room in this one before that. This one ran out of space, which I had to replace when this guy got filled up. And of course, that one had to be replaced. Then of course, there's the handy pocket songbook. So I take stock, I organize my lyrics, I highlight things, I string them together, and I see how they work, and each color here is a different verse. Video 8 is all about the vocals. So you want to be a singer. Everybody wants to sing, but not everyone should. Well, that's wrong. Wrong. Who is the person going to decide who should and should not sing? You suck, man. Still. Now, I can remember the day I think I really got it. I really figured out how to sing for me. And I kind of like distilled it down to the essence of this. You just have to let go. Relax and just know what you're going to do. Plan it ahead. Think about it, days, weeks, hours beforehand. But when that record button is hit and it's the moment and you got to get right down to doing it, you just got to open up and let it happen. First, think you're good. Second, know that you can get better. And you don't even have to try. It's evolution at work. So long as you continue to sing and play, you will automatically improve. Third, self-discovery, self-improve. And then fourth, see step 1. So those are my circular rules for improvement. Here's another way I tap into what I call the super you. Let your subconscious work on a problem, a creative problem, and come up with the answer for you. With this sleep on it approach, you are programming you to be a better version of you, the best version of you that you can be. A lot of yous. It's a super you. Here's an exercise designed to see what your soul really has to say about the thing you're singing. And you gotta remember, this is play. If you're working at it, it's gonna sound that way. Who wants that? It's play, man. If it ain't fun, you're doing it wrong. The right way to sing, for the diaphragm. That was all cool, but the right way, it kind of irked me, I suppose there's a place for that, and it's not in my world. But there is no right way, just like there is no wrong way. Video 9 is how I add or don't add effects. Effect equals affect. Affect defined to touch the emotions of someone and communicate with them emotionally. That's the whole dynamic of music. We're dealing in the currency of emotions. 1, effects on individual tracks and instruments. 2, the entire song, and how the concept of effects plays into the sound signature of the entire song. And finally, remember, all of these effects, both guitar and vocal effects, were baked into the tracks. In other words, I didn't record them dry and add the effects later. Mic and amp, for example. Mic right in front of the amp, you get one sound. You move it 2 or 3 feet away, you get a total different sound. Now that's natural delay. Recreate that with an artificial gadget. The setting that you adjust would be a time setting. So now time equals distance equals sound equals space. Think of every place you've had a conversation. What was the ambient environment? Elevator, library, men's room, restaurant, cafeteria. Each of these environments has an audio signature. So, space and time. These are the elements of music. Space in terms of the distance of the sound, and time in terms of translating that into the format of music. And video 10 is mixing. So I'm here mixing. I'm mixing. But really, what am I listening to? What am I listening to? What am I actually listening for as I'm going through this process? Now, your basic song starts at 0, and it has to, during the course of the song, it has to go to 11. It has to hit some milestone. It has to launch. It has to catch fire at some point. Listening to the now and the mix you're getting right at the moment, it's like vertical, and then the build is like horizontal. Horizontal aspect of the song playing out over time. And that brings us up to video 11, which you are watching right now. Before I wrap this up, what kind of marketer would I be if I didn't kind of give you the opportunity to pick up on some of the old vinyl recordings from years ago, which are still mysteriously available on some off the beaten path vinyl sites online. Here are those items with QR codes for you to pick them up. Also part of this phantom mysteriously available stuff available somewhere is a CD I made a few years ago with my buddies John Gooley and Steve Fowler under the moniker World of Hurt. So I've been yakking for 11 videos now, about 12 videos, and this is the wrap-up number 11, so where's number 12? Number 12 is the actual music video to Gimme, which I haven't created. It won't be available next Friday on schedule. I don't know when it will be available, but I'll let you guys know. So stay tuned to this YouTube channel here or my website. Woo! Web address up there, fingers flying, fingers see them. Web address, yeah. So that's it! And except for the final video of the song in which I will not be talking at all. I can see you smiling out there. This is Studio F signing off for the Gimme project. In the future, I'll probably put together another how-to, don't know when, don't know what. But in the meantime, I'll likely be uploading some crazy guitar videos, and so check back when you can, man. Later, man.